No one is coming. Not in the way you secretly imagined. Not with a perfectly timed message. Not with permission. Not with a hand on your shoulder telling you everything will be okay. Because the world does not reward need. It rewards power. And power does not look like begging. Power looks like silence that keeps moving, even when no one is watching, even when no one cares. If you are still waiting, still hoping, still expecting someone to finally recognize your struggle and save you, understand what that reveals. It reveals a contract you never signed out loud. A silent agreement that says you will begin when you are supported. You will become when you are validated. You will rise when someone finally believes in you. And the world loves that contract because a man who waits is predictable. And a predictable man can be ruled, managed, distracted, and replaced. A man who builds in silence is different. He does not announce his plans. He does not perform his suffering. He does not explain his discipline. He does not seek witnesses. He changes the temperature of the room without speaking. His presence unsettles people because it carries no need. If this already resonates with you, comment, "I'm a hunter." Not for attention, for alignment, for yourself. If they wanted to help you, they already would have. They saw your effort. They felt your hunger. They noticed your discipline. They noticed the nights you stayed up late trying to figure it out while others were sleeping comfortably. And still there was silence. Not because you are worthless, but because suffering has no market value. Pain only earns attention when it is profitable. And your pain is private. It does not trend. It does not entertain. It does not sell. So the world looks straight through it and keeps moving. You are not abandoned. You were never even considered. And once you truly accept that, something inside you hardens. Because the illusion of rescue is a leash. And now that leash is gone. No alliances you depend on. No mercy you expect. No waiting. No hoping someone will notice before you act. Just reality. Cold. Clear. Unforgiving. You do not cry. You calculate. You do not explain. You do not perform your healing like a public ritual. You disappear. Not to punish anyone. Not to be noticed. But because your future requires solitude. Because becoming dangerous requires isolation. If you agree with that, hit like quietly and keep listening. The ones who rise are not the ones who are loved. They are the ones who become needed. Feared, not like villains, but like gravity, like winter, like consequences that arrive on time, no matter how much you wish they wouldn't. You will not be remembered for softness. You will be remembered for how quickly silence turned you into steel. Stoicism never promised salvation. It promised sovereignty. It asked one ruthless question that cuts through every excuse. What is under your control? And if the answer feels small, that is not a tragedy. That is the beginning of power. Because the moment you stop waiting for a savior, you become one. First for yourself, and later, without trying, for others who are still asleep. Most people are too busy drowning to notice you sinking. They want to be understood, but they do not understand themselves. They want healing, but they have not stopped bleeding. They want validation, but they cannot sit alone in silence without reaching for distraction. If you have ever felt separated from the crowd by this awareness, subscribe so you do not drift back into noise. No one is coming. Deep down, you already knew it. If they were coming, they would have been here by now. No knock, no call, just silence. And the realization that this is on you. That realization hurts at first, then it sharpens you. Pain becomes clarity. Discomfort becomes direction. Need is not humility. Need is dependence. And dependence is a handle the world uses to move you wherever it wants. People can feel when you are waiting to be rescued. It leaks through hesitation, through over-explaining, through the way you soften your truth to be accepted. And that teaches them they do not need to respect you. It teaches them you are manageable. So the first rule is simple. No one is coming. And that is the best thing that could happen to you, because now your attention returns to you. Attention is the currency of modern life, and most men are bankrupt. They are not tired, they are scattered, fragmented across notifications, opinions, dopamine loops, and other people's expectations. Real focus is not peace, it is war, a silent war, a brutal disconnection from noise and a painful reconnection to yourself. Most people crave visibility more than truth. They announce plans because talking is cheaper than doing. They confuse movement with progress. Hunters move differently. If that sentence hit you, hit like and stay with it. Distractions are not innocent, they are sabotage. The first cut is the phone. Short-term content trains your brain to avoid boredom and chase stimulation. A disciplined man protects his attention like territory. He does not negotiate with distractions. He eliminates them because distraction is weakness disguised as entertainment. Social life shrinks, not forever, for a season. Family stays. Everything else must justify itself. You cannot build a weapon while bleeding time. This is not isolation. This is precision. This is choosing long-term power over short-term comfort again and again, even when it hurts. Then comes the uncomfortable cut. Porn, thirst traps, dopamine abuse. This is not about morality, it is about control. Artificial stimulation fries your focus and dulls your aggression. It turns hunger into apathy. Cut it and something ancient returns. You wake up driven. You sit down and want to work. You stop negotiating with weakness. If you have felt that shift before, you already understand. Netflix goes, news goes, chaos goes. If your life is not in order, consuming noise is a luxury you have not earned. One project replaces distraction, one mission replaces confusion. And this is where trading becomes more than charts. It becomes a mirror. Because trading does not reward hope. It does not reward effort. It does not reward intention. The market does not care about your feelings, your backstory, or your need to be right. The market rewards execution, precision, patience, emotional neutrality. Most traders fail not because they lack knowledge, but because they cannot sit still. They chase. They force trades. They need action because silence makes them uncomfortable. They want to feel something, and the market punishes that hunger mercilessly. The hunter-trader is different. He waits. He observes. He accepts boredom as part of the cost. He does not trade to feel alive. He trades to execute a plan. He does not confuse activity with edge. He understands that most of the time, doing nothing is the position. Losses do not break him. Wins do not inflate him. Every trade becomes data. Every mistake becomes information. No drama, no revenge, no emotional spirals, just refinement. If you trade this way, you already know why this resonates. One book, one meditation, one workout, one long walk. Simple, repetitive, ruthless. This is not motivation. This is architecture. And architecture outlasts feelings. If this structure feels right, comment, "I choose discipline." Discipline will make you lonely. Weakness loves company. When you change, people say you changed. What they mean is that you no longer feed their comfort. You no longer participate in the same distractions. Good. That is how you know you are leaving their world behind. Discipline does not announce itself. It works in silence, in routines, in repetition, in days no one claps for. And slowly, something else happens. Your nervous system stabilizes. Your reactions slow. Your patience deepens. You stop reacting to the market. You stop reacting to people. You stop reacting to noise. You begin to act deliberately, strategically. Most people will listen to this and return to noise. Some will feel recognized, not motivated, recognized. If that is you, stay. Subscribe so you do not forget who you are becoming when things get quiet, dark, and uncomfortable. Here is the quiet challenge. 6 months, no validation hunger, no shortcuts, no performing progress, just cold, silent work. 6 months of cutting distractions, 6 months of execution, 6 months of choosing discipline when no one is watching. What happens if you focus for 6 months like your life depends on it? You already know what happens if you do not. You stay predictable, you stay manageable, you stay ruled. If this resonated, comment "I'm in." If you are committing to this path, hit like. If you want to stay aligned with this way of thinking, subscribe. Or don't. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence. This is the hunter's way.